Welcome to the City of Heroes podcast, a resource for the casual Heroes gamer.
Your hosts, Chooch and Viv, are here to explain basic and advanced features of CoH,
as well as give tips and answer your questions about this great MMO. Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the City of Heroes podcast. That was the voice of our guest, Dacy, who is joining us for part 2 of the base building extravaganza tutorials, tips, tricks, tours, really amazing, cool stuff. As always, I'm joined by Vivid Muse. Hello, sweetie.
Hey, y'all. How's it going, everybody?
Yeah.
Welcome everybody in the chat. I can see some folks already in there, and Greb has been here, Rich. I think that it is known. I think he's made that very, very clear. Rich typed first, and Greb's like, hardly.
Not so fast.
Aw, so glad you guys are all here. Thank you so much for all the emote love. It's just the best. Hey, Grudge. Welcome. Welcome, Greb, Dythok, Real Smooth, 9th. Thanks for joining, everybody. Really appreciate you.
If you're old enough to remember Romper Room, it always feels like the magic mirror, right? And I see Tommy and Jessica.
It's the best. I love it. We gotta welcome our friends to the party. Come on
100%, 100%.
How's everybody's Saturday? Yeah, how's everybody's Saturday going? I thought I've been here before you guys went live too. After missing last week, I made sure to be here early this week. Oh, big love, Dythok. We're so glad, Dacy. I combined Dythok and Dacy. Now we know what your celebrity love couple name would be.
Dacy.
I'm so sorry. We're so excited to have Dacy back. It's just been great conspiring with her, and can't wait to get things going so that we can show you what she's got for us this week. Mm-hmm. So we don't really have a ton of news for the podcast or our joint efforts here. We'll be running the Intro to Incarnates Part 2 on March 20th on Excelsior server. Dythok will be once again leading the strategy. I will be reading all the lore to provide context. Prometheus is chatty, but I'm going to definitely be dropping in. The bulk of the audio is like between after what we're doing here and later. So I'm going to do one big 20-minute chunk of lore for you guys, and we'll release that separately because that's kind of a drag on a stream. But that's coming up on March 20th. We'll be doing the Underground and TPN. We've got 24 spots, and some are already assigned. The streamers that were with us last time, I'd like to invite again back. I know I've reached out to some of you so far, but haven't gotten to all of you. Please let me know in Discord. We have our Discord channel if you want on the list. Not everybody will be able to be on voice chat because we do want to make sure the lore and the strategy are at the forefront. But everybody that's on the team will be able to listen in real time on the Discord. I'm sure Chooch has just the right exact thing for us. And if time allows, we'll repeat one or both of the trials without the read along for just a quick smashy good time. And then I didn't really see anything for discussing on the Homecoming server forums. Please shout out if there's anything you want to talk about. So I thought we would just let you guys know what the strike targets are through end of day tomorrow is Market Crash, Ada Wellington, level 40 to 50, and that's Callisti Wharf, if I remember correctly. Temple of the Waters is Operative, also known as Operative Renault, level 25 to 30. The Chaldean War, Moonfire, level 23 to 28. Moonfire is the contact in Striga, and if you have not gotten all of your requirements for the Atlas Medallion, you can get Silver Bullet, you can get Slayer, you can get a couple of them knocked out in the first couple missions. So I highly recommend that. And then let's see, next week we've got Soul of the Woodsman, Numina, level 35 to 40. Chasing Fool's Gold. Dr. Aeon, level 35 to 50. And then a Tangled Plot, Katie Hannon, level 30 to 34. So good stuff, you guys. So yeah, it's one of those things where you play up until they switch over the weekly strike target and you look at what the next ones are and you're like, oh, I think I can do one more, just one more before bed.
Right.
But that's it for the for what I've got for the news this week.
Yeah. And
What
if you're
says
like
the
me,
chat?
when you hear Manumina, all you can think about is
Yep.
sorry, I got to do the whole thing. Okay.
Yes, it plays on in his mind whether he writes for the rest of it or not.
That kind of song.
Right? It's one of those.
Yes. And in personal news, my Return to Dark Tower board game literally just showed up on the doorstep.
Yay!
And you have no idea how much willpower it is to be doing this and not unboxing it and playing. I'm kidding.
He's
I
not
love you
kidding.
guys.
He's
But
not
I've been
kidding.
waiting for it for 2 years. So I'm very excited. I'm very happy.
Yeah.
We appreciate your sacrifice. I know how that feels.
Right? Yeah, so with
so
that,
exciting.
let's hand over to Dacy, right? We're on our screen.
Okay.
Believe it or not, we are in a base.
Yep. This is a base it's a work in progress, so it's not completely finished, but all the services are finished, and that's basically what I wanted to focus in on, because the services are integrated into the base so that you can't really tell where they are unless you know where they are and what to look for and so forth. They just look like they're part of the scenery, essentially. And all the services are located here at Crossroads Garage, which is the focus of this base. The rest of the town that will be is just basically window dressing. But, so for instance, teleporters, usually you see a glow, but I didn't want a glow, so I made silent teleporters. If you mouse over right next to the car on the cement, just put your mouse there, you will see the blue hand. And of course, the blue car is for Blue Side, Paragon. This would be anywhere that the tram goes, essentially. Except I usually put Peregrine Island on here, and Peregrine Island is not on the tram. Red little sports car over here, of course, is to Red Side.
Red goes faster.
Purple, guess where that goes? Red and blue make purple, so that's co-op.
Nice.
Then kind of off here, wouldn't know it's here unless you know it's here, is another, this is like the alternate dimensions and different zones like Firebase Zulu and Pocket D and Croatoa. You know, if it's magical or alternate dimension, then it's here. And if it's a hazard zone, well, then it's inside the garage at the army truck. Just right in here. And the teleporter is right at your feet.
Oh, gotcha. Nice.
And you look around here, we got lots of base services here. This is the mission computer where you get tip missions. It's masquerading as a diagnostics computer. And then over here we have I/O tables masquerading as tool benches. And the tire racks over here. This is before they came out with tire racks in the editor. I haven't replaced these, but that's because these are salvage racks.
Oh,
We
wow.
have everything from starts with rare, goes through uncommon, and then all of these are common. There's two sides. And then the special rack is over here where I have converters and so forth. And then you've got your merit machine and your workstation.
Cool.
In here, in the office, ducked into the office. If you look here, you can still see I left the ring showing. But if you mouse here, you will see the quartermaster here in this corner. Okay, and then I've got a drill master over here.
So chill.
Can you see it? Just move a little closer. You have to move a little closer. I need to get out of your way. No, he's in the corner.
Oh, in the corner. Gotcha. Oh, I can almost see something like glitching, but I'm not getting a hand. Oh, there
right
he is.
on the corner.
There he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
The other corner.
Yeah,
Nice.
there, right there. And now we're going to go upstairs. And that's back here. Yeah. Private apartment, so of course you don't have direct access. You have to be able to get past the office. Go to Aleph. And in here is just your basic apartment. And not a lot of services up here because most of them were taken care of downstairs. I do have an icon in the closet in here and another drill master, drill instructor.
Lovely.
If you go into the closet, the rack to the right holds an
Yeah.
icon. And you can also, to the right, yeah. And then you can also, and then behind you in the plain wall to your left, that's the drill instructor.
Ah, okay. Nice.
I haven't, but a lot of people do put the Vanguard in mirrors, so that when you click on the mirror or click behind the mirror, then you get the Vanguard drill
Okay.
instructor. And just a tip for people, sometimes it's difficult to place the icon representatives because there's one really big guy who likes to hulk out and kind of take over and poke out of whatever hiding spot you've put him in. If you use the red side version of the face makers, they are all female and they stay the same size. So that's a little tip. So I just wanted to show you how this base, it just looks like a normal living base.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's got a full service. Oh, and it does have a medical, but if you take the arcane version of the Res Ring and turn it upside down and bury it so that it's just underneath the surface, it will pop you out either right at the ring or at the, I found out in this base, at the nearest teleporter. It will pop you out there too.
Cool.
So, I actually, I have it down in the garage with all the other services, and it's, you can't even see it because it's invisible. So, with that in mind, I wanted to go over to Excelsior.
Yeah.
And there's a base that I'm setting up that's new, and I wanted to just kind of go through the basic setup stuff that you need for a base and then kind of how to integrate it a little bit.
Yeah, that's great.
So I'm going to go over there now.
Yeah.
We still need to add you to the Super Viv as part of it.
Yes.
Right on. I just created a new avatar.
Well, and I get tired of making these basic bases and then they just sit there. So I thought, well, why don't I make a base that is for somebody? And Viv said, "Oh yeah, that would be great. We could use a base." And so I made. You asked for Gamers Night, and you had a particular place that you like to game at. Do you want to tell them about that, Viv?
So Chooch and I have this big group of friends on the East Coast that were very into board games, and we would gather together. Friends of ours would gather. We would all just gather together in groups, either at a friend's house on the weekend or whatever we could figure out. And this one group of friends, the married couple friends of ours, Smar and Laura, they rented a castle in Ohio and said, "Okay, who wants to go with us? We've rented it out. It's perfect for a board game weekend, no distractions. Let's just go and play." And so I don't even remember, 30 to 40 people went the first year, and it's still going on every year. And they've got places on the, you can stay inside the castle. They've got special rooms set up, and then they've got other places, they've got like little cabins set up, and the whole place is decked out with gamers in mind. They do special game event weekends. Maybe Chooch could put the link in the chat if he has a second.
Sure.
But they have this amazing, it's a castle. It was built in the 80s because this is America. This is not France or some, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years old country. But it was built in the 80s, and it looks like an old kind of like medieval, simple, not huge, crazy. It's not like, the Disney castle or anything like that. It's like a small hold, like a small little, hold fast kind of a thing. And they've got like, it's all wood and it's stonework, and it's just so beautiful. And in the basement, they have like a pub situation, and then this whole huge game library where you can go in and peruse games and things like that. And it was just such a magical like memory of going there with people that you kind of knew or you really, really knew, all really good people, and you just played games all weekend. And so that's kind of what we were asking for Dacy, is just something reminiscent of that, where people are busy, but you can pop in, play some games, and pop back out, and just be real homey, kind of friendly, kind of a vibe.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what I usually do with the basic base is I have, let's see it's here. I have another room here. Put a doorway between the two rooms here. And this is the kind of room I would usually set things up in. Chooch is not here yet, so I will wait.
Oh.
So sorry. What do you know? I'm all tapped.
It's kind of pointless for me to talk about stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
And
So, I
can-
mean, what I might do in here would be, might add walls so that I could stuff stuff into the walls, kind of like to hide things and stuff.
Oops.
But,
Didn't you say
I
there was a
was-
command, a slash command I could do to see your...
yeah, slash edit base.
Oh, edit base.
One second.
Oh, okay.
I was kind of thinking, let's see. Yeah, instead of going that way, I thought we might go this way.
Whoa. Ooh, look at the moon and the sky.
I can still set up a basic. So you've already gotten into edit mode.
Oh, sorry.
I can see because I can see all the little lights.
I can exit.
Viv, come here.
Oh, I was watching on the stream.
Okay.
You can get a front row seat.
God. Wow.
I wasn't able to get as much of it done as I wanted to.
God.
But
It's amazing.
way not done.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah,
yes,
but
yes.
that is a
Yes, yes,
castle.
yes, yes,
That
yes,
is
yes,
a
yes, yes,
legit
yes, yes, yes.
castle.
That's our castle. That's Ravenwood
Right?
Castle.
It'll look a lot better when you put in the foliage and stuff. But
my
I looked at a
God.
lot of pictures and they had these blue benches. I don't know if they still have.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't. Like, Dacy, you totally recreated it. Oh my God.
Okay, so on the door here, I have the other door done, but you can just click on door to go through.
Oops. Cool.
Oh, I don't think I placed the other. Hang
Hey,
on
the
one
point
second.
is
I
no.
will place the other one. Oh, that's embarrassing. Okay. It does
That's all
help
good.
when you're doing teleport point to place the point. All right, now you can go.
There we go. Awesome.
Yee.
Nice entryway.
Now that way,
Oh my gosh. Yes.
obviously to the right is not finished. In fact, none of this is finished. I didn't do the stairs. I'm going to have to really work to do any of the Gothic arches because there are no Gothic arches in the miniature, especially not wood things. I was going to
Holy cow, Dacy. You've really gone. Wow. Aww.
So, I mean, I just put this wall up. This is not obviously the wall that would be here, but I put it up just because the view is distracting.
Right on.
So, okay. And I also had some things to ask you about just as far as logistics, because as far as I can tell, this would normally be the entry to the basement where the pub is and everything. But to do a basement here, we'd either have to do another teleport door like we just did for the entryway, which would go to either below the base or, because this is inside the base, or it would go to another location. Or, since you're not going to be using probably all of the many rooms in the castle,
Yeah, absolutely.
you can just put the pub up here, and then it's all in one contiguous kind of area.
Yeah.
All right. So the first things I like to put in a base is usually storage, because I like to do a lot with creating and storing stuff.
Yeah.
So I usually go to the tech workshop just because the storage. Come on, tech workshop. The storage racks have a flat side. See, the side is entirely flat.
Oh, yeah.
So what I can do with that is I turn my grid off, and you can get back and edit. You are back in.
Yeah, I just downloaded it.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this around, and I could actually put, because I've got two sides to this thing, I could actually put create salvage racks, say the word, all the way up and down on both sides. But so now I've just put that in there. Now, Viv, you're not in edit mode. You can go up and click and see that you can access, like right about here.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Yep.
So you can't see it,
Cool.
but it's there. And now
Wow.
what we could do, this particular place in the castle is a wall of murals. And what we could do instead of the wall of murals is I'm going to go to the supergroup settings. And, well, right now I didn't know what game piece to put. So I put a rook. And I'm going to grab one of the supergroup floor plates. Okay, and there's the rook. And I'm going to choose out. I've just got the color set up as red because I was putting the banners up, and that was easier than changing the color for the banners each time. So the rook, let's make him like blue and yellow.
Thank you so much for the follow, DOA Touchpoint 2016. How are you today? Please continue, Dacy. That looks amazing. I like the
Cool.
rook.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the murals, we can just put up, these super floor plates. And let's see, what else? We do have a rampant lion. I know that was in the castle. So there's a rampant lion, and you know what? He looks pretty good in red. I just might make his outline black. Oop, not his outline. Sometimes it's hard to know on these things what's the outline and what's not. So, and this would be another storage then. And I mean, you could color these and make the colors the type of storage it is.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
this
yeah.
could be uncommon. This could be rare, especially if I made it more orange. So that would be one way you could, or you could put up letters. There are several different ways to put up letters. One of my favorite ways to put up letters is to use the tech podium. And now, before I get him out, I'm going to have to go to supergroup settings again, and I'm going to have to change to let's just go to an A. Come back out. Supergroup podium. And now that's an A. That. A white A.
And what would that be under in the tabs? We got tech
that's
power.
under supergroup settings. That's in your chat.
Okay. Okay, cool.
So let's say I wanted to put like common starting at A, so I could just put that there. And this is something that will not interfere with anybody. You can go walk right through that. So it can be over something as well as in front of something or to the side of something. See, put them over to the side, because usually when I do like commons, it's like A through C, then it's D through H. D through I, and then A through N, and then the S through T. There's lots of S's. So I would just put that like on either side of the emblem maybe, or what you can do however you want to, is what I'm saying. But most salvage, you want to know where stuff is. So you just go ahead and label things however you want to label. There's also banners. You can put up banners so just the logo is showing through. Like I can do that with this too. I'm going to attach this on the floor and put it back up again. Now I'm going to turn off my grid and now it's just the line.
Wild.
So now base shift, which we talked about last time, we'll play Merry Havoc with that. But usually there's a couple of very fine layers there. And if you find the right one, it'll stay most of the time. No guarantees. So that's just some of the little tricks that you can use for putting up images and putting up letters, because you have a wide variety of letters and symbols, but not really any numbers in the supergroup logos. Now you do have numbers in the alphabet letters, but the alphabet letters are a magnitude larger. Let me just grab an alphabet letter and show you. This is why we would very much like smaller letters.
Right.
So that's the size of the kind that you can just pull out and, you can stick them to the wall, or you can, like I talked about last time, you can embed them and then they don't cast a shadow and they're much easier to read. But see that those are much, much bigger. So it's nice to do something with the small things. Okay, so the other things that bases need are what? What else do bases need? What else do you use your base for?
I mean, teleportation.
Yeah, teleportation.
Biggie, yeah.
And since, now you're going to have to run out the open way here because I did not put the other teleportation thingy in. But come on out, and you were wanting to do the car thing. Right. So
yeah, we talked about since we were doing the castle thing. I asked Chooch, what he would like for that, and he said, "Well, the more realistic, the better." And then she showed me this, and I was like, "Well, brilliant."
Okay, so I would take
Right.
cars and basically do it just like I did for the other base, where I would have, maybe sports car 1, and you'll have to, this obviously doesn't have any of the landscaping or the sidewalks laid in, and you can change this floor. I'm thinking if we put in the sidewalks like they have, I was thinking this might make a nice sidewalk, but there's a floor that is almost exactly what they have in the pub. So if we change the underlying floor to that, then when we do the pub, we can just leave the floor as is. And we can just cover up all this stuff out here. If that made any sense at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so this would be the Paragon. So we're going to make a nice,
Yeah.
nice blue. Thinks it's white. Okay. And then how I do my nice little silent, invisible. And do you want it with the glowy, like the door, or do you want it silent and invisible?
I think I like the glowy. I know silent and invisible would be like cooler, but I want to make sure people know how to get around too.
True.
Okay. Let me just show for the people who might be curious as to how you do it. First, you go to Options, turn on Hidden Markers, enable those puppies. You will see a whole bunch of little things you never knew existed pop up all over the base. That's okay. That's supposed to be like that. Then you go to your teleporters, and this teleporter, the silent one that you can make invisible, is a stone portal. And, Cheech, in your editor, go to Options.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't see options.
It's over on the left under your Twitch chat.
Oop. All right. There we go.
Okay. So you see all the lights all over the place. And you see that blue thing in the middle of the teleport. Okay, that's the click zone. Now watch what happens. I'm going to turn my angle snaps on a little bit bigger so it goes over more quickly. I hold down Alt and Control, and I'm going to flip this puppy over. And you see how the blue extends below stone. When the stones are completely submerged, the blue is still there. Now, you could actually jump on top of that. It's solid.
Wow.
So what I do, so you don't run into it, is I put it down real low. Okay? And then I put it next to the car. And usually you can get it on both sides. No matter which side of the car they on. And voila! There's your zone. Now, of course, when you're doing any kind of a teleporter, what you have to do is go to your teleport points, your beacons, and I would go. What I usually do is I invert my camera angle.
Oops.
So I'm like this, and I just stick those suckers on there with using attachment. So there's Atlas Park, and there's Brickstown. Doesn't matter what order you put them in because they have a pre-assigned order. You're never going to be able to change the order. It's based on the programming code that was given. So I'm going to skip Croatoa because we're going to put that on the magic. And there's Falls. And Sport. Row. See, I don't have to take any particular care when I'm putting these on. I just double click for surface. I'm trying to talk and look at things at the same time. It's not going so well. And stick them up there. Now, see. Yep. And that should be 10. Click on my guy. Nope, it has 9. So let me look and see. I think I missed that last Talos one. Nope, there's Talos. So I've got that. Independent Port. There's Fall. Okay, I'll have to think about what I'm missing. Oh, it must be Callisti. So yeah, I mean, you can either put Callisti here or you can put, because you get to Callisti off the tram. So you can either put Callisti here or Croatoa. So, and you can double, because there's not, I usually set up 5 teleporters because there's more than, well, it's a tight squeeze to get them into 4. They don't categorize well.
Gotcha.
So I have some that go into multiple categories, like Callisti is going to go into co-op. Dark Astoria will go into hazards, but also co-op. So, things like that. So once I have it full, then, I knew it wasn't where it was supposed to be. Like it left my grip a lot sooner than it should have. Okay, so that's how I do the silent time. So now to do the glowy, that's a tech teleporter. You cannot use the same beacons, and that's why you can put two teleporters that are different alignments right next to each other, and they won't the beacons won't jump from one to the other. If you fill one up before you start the next one, you can usually put them pretty close together anyway. But yeah, beacons like to jump from teleporter to teleporter if they're not like nailed down. Okay. So that's just something to keep in mind. So the interdimensional shard is what we usually use for the nice glowy look. Put it on the door. And again, you can see its click zone right there, all nice and gold.
Wow.
And then again, with the beacons, and what I usually do for this, since it doesn't really have anything for me attached to, is I attach them to my floor and I just sink them down. Just like that. Floor. And they can be all on top of each other. The computer does not care. It's going to read them just fine without them exactly lined up. So you just keep doing that. And I will finish that up for you later. And do you want a purple car for the co-op zones and a red car for the... and you wanted a TARDIS for the extra dimensional zones, you said.
I mean, if I'm gonna
naturally
for the moon, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's in the editor. It's not a difficult thing to do. Do you want that inside or outside?
What do you think, Chooch?
I mean, we can have it all like.
Yeah. I think all outside. Yeah. All in one place makes sense.
Put it all kind of casual over here, pretending to be. Cool. So we've got storage and we've got our teleporters. So what else do people use our bases for? Well, sometimes you might have to res.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
One of my favorite things to do for res is I like to invert. I spoke about this before. I like to take the Arcane Resurrection Circle. Now, if you're going to use any medical anything, you're going to need power and you're going to need control. And those can just be gotten from... And it doesn't have to... It used to be you had to make sure that if you used a magical whatever, you had magical power, but you don't have to worry about that anymore. They made them all.
You used to have to power everything and control everything and get the prestige to earn that, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. So there's the power. And let's see if... Object... Rules... oh, yeah. Okay. So if you look down on the green lines, I don't know if you have green lines or not on your editing bar, but the green lines over here, they tell you, yes, you have plenty of power. So what I like to do is just invert this and then bury it. You see that kind of shadowy thing? I want to make sure it goes down way. It's just underneath the surface there. So if one of you were to get defeated, he would pop out there, but actually you'd probably pop out of this car because that's the nearest teleporter. And it when you put medical devices near a teleporter, they tend to get their signals crossed. But especially if you turn it upside down, the computer goes, what are you doing? It'll still res you, but it might res you in a weird place. But usually you res right above the res ring, but it just kind of depends on where you put it. And I will think of a better place to put that when I position it where it's supposed to be. Because usually you want to come back. Either you want to come back, and I'll talk to you guys about this. But either you want to come back near the teleporters so you can get back out again,
right? Or
you want to teleport into like inspirations and buffs.
Right, yeah.
Which is another place to go. And probably I will put that like in the hub. when I get the pub set up. Because I can think of a couple of ways to disguise those things in there. We don't have that set up. Fun way to disguise the Oros crystal. You got a fire. Go around this way so we don't have to worry about teleporter. You've got this nice fire here that I made for you. And go to Cane Workshop, Lure of Ice and Flame. He's got a nice little flame there. And you're going to want, but you're going to want to be able to touch it. So I'm going to tilt it out.
Oh, wow.
And then
I legit wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see you actually doing it.
Now you should be able to access that if somebody wants to double check by going and trying to click on the crystal.
I had gone outside.
I lost my pointer.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, with all my...
Oh, you're in edit mode. You can't interact.
Well, I turned it off, and then I lost my pointer.
It works. It works. It works. It works. It works.
But that's a fun place to hide the...
That is so brilliant. Dang, Dacy.
And then I don't have a closet. The pub has a library, and the library has a closet with lots of games and stuff. So what I would do, if you wanted inspiration storage, I need to turn markers off because I cannot see anything with those on. Okay. You've got this nice chest here, and we can also put this out in the entry, I think, possible. But you're going to want to tilt that, sync it, and it takes a little bit of...
What keys are you hitting to do that?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I meant to tell everybody that. Okay. When I hold shift, that's when I can use the mouse to take it up and down.
Okay.
Now, if I hold control, I can move that sucker wherever I want to, and it stays at the same height. If I let go of control, it's going to go to the nearest floor because that's what it's oriented to. It's going to stick to the floor. So then if I want to tilt it, it's going to depend on which axis goes which way, and that depends on which way it's facing when it comes out of the editor. So in other words, it's experiment time unless you're really familiar with the object. But right now I'm holding, again, Control and Alt to do this axis, and then axis. And if I want to do the other axis, then I hold Shift and Alt. Okay?
Wow.
And it's doing great big snaps because the angle snap is very high. I make the angle snap very low, then I can do a much more fine-tuned kind of manipulation. So what I would do is I would build a closet.
Oh, angle snap is crucial, it looks like, too.
Angle snap is crucial. Yeah. And you'd want to have it deep enough where nothing behind it so that you can hide the back, like... call those things fangs, arches. And then you hide these things in like doors or posts, columns and stuff. So then you've got the, and you can also sink it down a little bit lower so it gets rid of that little nice rainbow glow thing, mostly. And you can put things around it too to get rid of that if you don't want the magical, But here you just basically have a chest that would be in a closet. So it's pretty inconspicuous. And you saw me in the other place. I'd like to take NPCs and put them in various places that you might not know that they're there unless you know that they're there, like inside of a mirror for NPC, for an icon. Trainers, and I'll have to talk to you about like where you want your trainers. There's going to be lots of different things in here. We'll have to talk about how we want it set up. Trainers, and they might want to be like outside because usually when you want to train, want to come right in and do that. So let's see, trainers and icon, and the Vanguard vendors. We'd put them somewhere too. Probably in a post, right? So that like they're standing like here. Inside post that's hiding the chest. So
that's cool.
Sell and exchange and everything there, and that would be in the game library. in the pub. Well, next to the pub. You know what I'm...
Yeah.
You're familiar with the place. People listening may not be. And boy, it was a bit of a challenge for me to try and figure out the layout of that place. We don't have a ceiling yet. That will be coming, but yeah. So I was. This was a little bit more of a project than I thought it would be. But I will finish setting up the basic base, and of course, eventually I will finish like Castle. But I do have some other projects.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Like, I
100%.
for this to be like a huge
This
extensive thing for you,
This
for
was-
sure.
This was a total surprise because I said I was going to do a basic base, and then I went and I did this.
I'm just like, blown
Feeling
away.
you just can't help it.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll talk more about like basic storage requirements, and I think we already talked a little bit about that and how many inspirations. I think you said you wanted 3 inspirations, so I'll just probably put them all in a row.
Yeah, sure. That sounds great.
However the posts do it. So let's see. We have, and I don't usually put a personal storage vault because you can access that from your character anytime.
Sure. Yeah.
Just on the salvage. Now, for the enhancement tables, what I will probably do for that is the enhancement tables, they're nice and arcane, and I will probably just turn them into like gaming tables.
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect because that's what was. Those tables were food during. Oh God, my God, yes. So those were like meal tables during the day, but we would just cover them with booze and board games and just have at it. It was great.
Yeah. So,
So we have a question from Doll. What are those wooden walls made from?
this over here, the dark ones, is the only dark wood.
So yeah.
These are Sioux wood. I mean, it's just called Sioux wood. It's got, on the other side, it's got Sioux junk on it. But on this side, it's just plain dark brown. Because if you look on the interior of this hotel, or the castle, it's like a lot of dark wood, especially an entryway. And I'm going, oh, how am I going to do? It's got a lot of Gothic arches like all over the place. And I am not sure how I'm going to do those, but I will figure something out. I might have to do them with alphabet letters.
And she asks, what is the floor?
The floor is a Sioux square wood table. The floor, again, in the castle is like a checkerboard, wooden checkerboard, and this was like the closest thing I could come short of doing a wooden checkerboard, which was not happening. So, see, I know I'm missing something in bases. Well, buffs. Do you guys usually do like base buffs?
Yeah.
Have those in the base? Okay, yeah. Those will be in the pub because, of course, where else would you get buffs?
Right.
See, let me think. And the mission computer will probably be Golden Advisor. I might put the Golden Advisor as like, I mean, he's pretty good size. Let's see.
So, Chooch, I learned, big surprise, I learned something from Dacy this week when we were touring that other supergroup base that we were in earlier. There's something called a mission computer. Did you know about it?
You know, I remember Mission Computer back in the day, and I completely forgot about it.
I didn't remember it at all. And she showed me, and I was like, wow.
Click on that. I think that is the same thing as a mission.
No clicky for me. I'm not getting a blue hand.
Let me see if it will for me.
Oh, if you're in edit mode, it won't.
Yeah, no blue hand for me either.
Yeah, normal mode.
Does not allow auxiliary connections. I never use the arcane version, so I
tip missions, doll. Yeah, it's the mission computer has like stacks and stacks of tip missions in them, which is just like really helpful when you need them.
Oh, it's the Oracle.
Oh.
Okay, that's big, bulky. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
But I can probably do the computer into the office. If you'll have to tell me where the office would be, because this is. I mean, I've got one of these in the witch's house. It's just huge.
If memory serves, it would be like back here.
Okay. I know the sign in the front, which I didn't make a sign, but the sign when you come in the door says office and office and hub to the right, which I assume they just mean go around the stairs and then down. And then but everybody went left because this is the way into the Great Hall. So
yeah.
So yeah, and I'll try and I like to have everything as close together as possible.
Yeah.
So I'll try and figure out a configuration that works.
It could even be like this next room over, which I think on the actual castle is like the dining and kitchen setup.
Yeah, you have to have a kitchen.
Area.
Yeah.
I think the office was like back here somewhere, but if we could totally make the office over here instead, because the kitchen isn't going to serve any like big like functional purpose right away.
Right. Well, we could do like make this the pub, and then this the library.
Cool.
And then everything will be really close together.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, because when you're running between missions or when you're reviving from a challenging mission, either way, it's good to have everything nearby.
Definitely. Okay. Well, that is. I mean, I didn't do as much of the telling you how to do things as much as I did showing you them. But does anybody have any questions over some of the things that I have shown and talked about?
Yeah.
That was my biggest question was what are you actually mechanically doing, and you explained that.
Yeah, I meant to, when I get into a base, the first thing I do is hit F3. That enables my clipping.
Okay.
And then my grid is going to be based on what I'm doing. If I'm doing like the lion where I'm just showing the image, that's very fine tuning. The grid has to be off that. Other than that, for most objects, I just have it on 1/4 grid. But if it's a really big object, I might have it on 1, 2, or even 4. Like a great big brass plates or the great big water plates. Those are very well done with 4 because their click point, their grab point is in the middle of them, and you have to haul your camera out to Kansas to get the whole view of where you're putting that thing. So the grid really helps you in placing that. Because flicker is the pain is real for for placing water plates, and the flicker is like it's so hard to not get that if you don't have it on a large grid. So that's how the grid can help you. And the angle snap, I did show you about that, and that's F2. F5 is what you do for changing your placement value. Like if I wanted to, when I put this piece up on the wall, I did that with surface, and then when I wanted to manipulate it back and forth, I had to turn it on to floor. And whenever you put something on floor, like if I grab the A right now and I say, okay, I'm going to change that orientation attachment to floor, and then once I move it, it's going to orient itself to however it would be natively when it comes out of the editor. Like that. So then I'm going to have to right click to turn it, and then I would hold down Alt and Control again, set it upright, put it down because it jumped on me, then I can place it using the floor attachment that way. And again, I'm holding Control and I'm using my mouse to move the item stuff. We started late. Do you want to run over to the witch's house, or do you want to end here? Or here-ish, I mean.
I think I've got Rich and Greb in the chat.
Yeah.
I hope it's okay with you guys if I call an audible and say, let's take a look at the witch's house. And you can yell at me accordingly.
Are the chimneys hiding in the back of the fireplace? They are the back of the fireplace. They are, if you I'm in edit mode, so you can't see very well. But I made the back of the fireplace with the chimneys. What I will probably do on the other side is the pub has a curved fireplace. And I may just make this, of course, I said a pub over here, so I don't know. But this is going to have to be something. This might be a closet or something. I'm running into a wall that you can't see from one side. Okay, any other questions? So, okay, let's go over to the witch's house, and I can show you guys some stuffs. And that code is still Boo 17189. Now, you guys have both been in the witch's house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Is there anybody listening who hasn't been to the witch's house yet?
I was lucky enough to be a scarer for a lot of the event.
Yeah, that was fun.
Emulated corpsing, which is fun.
Yeah.
I love the macros that change costumes and the emotes and all that. They're so much fun.
They were a ton of fun, and Easter Bunny put in a lot of work on all those costumes, and so did Alice. I can never remember her name. Easter Bunny hopefully will correct me. He'll probably send me a message here if I got that wrong. She is like just amazing at doing costumes and stuff. But Easter Bunny gave her a run for her money. He was cranking out some fabulous costumes, and then of course Joker. He did that killer clown, and I made an entire section just for that.
Yeah.
And then gotta think of what else I'm gonna do this year. Last year, I may have dug my own grave here because I went and made huge modifications, and so hopefully people aren't expecting me to do the same thing this year because I'm at the max limit here. I'm going to have to tear stuff out if I want to add anything more, and I really don't want to do that.
Welcome, Easter Reject. How are you? Welcome to the chat.
It must be Easter Bunny Elise.
I bet I know who Easter Reject is.
Ellys.
Ellis. Yeah, Ellis.
Nice.
Yeah, I told you he'd probably be on and correct me if I was wrong.
We like correct information. I think we all agree. So thank you.
And while you're here, I have to say how impressed I am with your work. I mean, stuff you do is just pure magic. Thank you, Easter Bunny.
So impressive. And like, I'm just one of these people that is just like standing there going, wow, like slack jawed and just like so amazed at what you guys are able to do.
Easter Bunny has that effect on a lot of people. Me included.
Nice.
We still haven't gotten over to his Christmas base, which is darn shame, because that thing is worth an hour all by itself.
Yeah. And towards the end I was going to put, but
I'm into it.
Whoops.
We could do that instead of this.
Going to go ahead and copy Dacy's YouTube. Boop. Put in a link directly to your YouTube channel where you did a nice video.
Oh, my YouTube channel, I changed the URL. It's just, grab it. Just Dacy's.
Oh, sweet.
I just want to get the exact code.
Right.
And of course, I didn't go, yes, I did.
There we go. Dacy's base building. There we go.
Oh, I'm still streaming. I'm going to stop streaming.
Oh, dear.
Oh, wait. Did you? Was I supposed to keep streaming?
You're all good.
There.
You're all good. I didn't know if you wanted to show the controls or not. That's all. Totally up to you.
I was thinking I didn't.
There we go.
Copy. So, you put it in the channel here.
I think I just got it corrected in the chat.
In live streams. Oh, wait. Didn't look.
Yeah, Immolated Corpse is a lot of fun. The emotes are really fun. Some people... The reactions, of course, are the best when people just don't quite know what to do, if they don't know if you're real or if you're not. And
It was a lot of fun. I mean, I wasn't sure you know, I was not quite ready for how much it added. Yes, I was put in all this work on the base, and it was going really well, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, that just kind of shot it into the atmosphere there.
Get rid of my map.
Excellent. Off. So, yeah, the link is... You probably just did this, but I can't see because I actually bopped off the page there. That /C is what I wasn't sure.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it looks like it doesn't need it. I tried to do a reload and it didn't need it.
Okay, good. That was a question I had. I wasn't sure. So, well, it's the most fun if you just walk. This was originally a base that I built for. There was someone who approached me about helping out with a giveaway that they wanted to do at Halloween, and they basically wanted something that the editor, the GMs didn't have to do any work for.
I fell through the floor.
Oh, what a shock! Oh no. So I made the original base in about 3 weeks, which was really fast, and I didn't feel like it wasn't my usual level of detail. You might notice I'm a little detail obsessed. And then Gizmouse came up with this water slide thing. And then another player who's left, or I'd give him credit, came up with a different item that you could use to do the water slide that's invisible underwater. And that's the heart in a jar. And there's a real trick to using both of those, but the main thing was I could make them invisible underwater. So I decided, because I had, I think it was Claire, who had first come up with the Q rail where you could slide on the Qs. And so I had done the first trap using that kind of, it wasn't quite Q rail. What I did was I laid the plates so that they were continuous at a 45-degree angle, which is really hard because the only way you can see, you have to turn on your hidden markers, and the only way you can see the plate on the alphabet letters is by going underneath them. So I spent a lot of time with the camera tilted up from underneath trying to and I'd go up and see, okay, I have to test it out. That was a huge pain. So then it's like a half and half now. It's half that, and then the other half is just the heart in a jar kind of whirlpool thing, which works most of the time. It's still not perfect. It annoys me sometimes, but anyway. The falling through the floor was entirely my idea, just because I knew there are some things that you can move through that don't have what they call collision. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, I want a floor you can fall through that you don't know that you're going to fall before you get there. How can I do that? And so just black obviously was the way to go, because you can't really see anything against black. Of course, it gives people trust issues for some reason, and they get to this part and they're like, yeah, that's black. I don't think I'm going to go there. Oh, bot attacked Dacy.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out where to allow you the ability to post.
You have to have given that command. You need to have taught the bot the command.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
I don't know if you did or not, but it's the same link that I posted.
Yeah,
okay.
So that it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. So I got tired of black floors, and then that's why I did the colored floors that you see later on in this section.
Looks so cool.
Then one of my favorite things that I did this year was the alternate reality section.
Yeah.
That blew a lot of people's minds, and some people still haven't. Well, few people asked me how I did it. So I imagine some of them are still wondering, and some of them have figured it out, and some of them are like, I don't care. It's cool. I'm going to enjoy the show, and I'm not going to worry about the magic behind the curtain. So, we had all kinds of plans for jump scare people all along these places. I've got little hidey holes in lots of places where they can hide and jump out. But we never quite had enough people to do that. We finally, I think we had a workable number when we finished fine-tuning it. It was a pretty good group. I've got a couple additions for next year, though.
Awesome.
So this is the colored floor I mentioned. Great big spider for the arachnophobes. Like me, I hate spiders.
Awesome colors.
So I just wanted, again, to lull their suspicions. Here's a nice hard floor. They can walk on it. And if you're smart and you know where to walk, you can fool people into walking out, all the way to the door. Go on out to the door. It's safe. This door, and the one thing I did find out is you have to make sure that you have ultra effects on, and you don't have cell shading on, because cell shading completely takes the water effects out. It's really sad. And here's our carnival, which is sadly missing our juggling clowns. Oh my goodness. GM Flint's had just the funniest thing here. She had one character positioned behind the skulls that she could target. And then she had her character out here and throwing snowballs. And like they were rocks and stuff. And then they had the skull pile trash talking the GM character. And it was like, hey, I'm paying for a whole trip to Bermuda here. Keep it up. Stuff like that. And I can't miss every time. Come on. What is this thing? It was hilarious.
The law of averages.
They didn't do it nearly long enough, though. There was only this one particular time. But then GM Sparky was running around as a Spectre Lord. And they can go invisible and move through things at will. So he would be here, he would be there, he'd be running through people, and they'd be like, "What?" And the funny thing was, people thought I was doing that, and it was hilarious. And apparently, another seldom used GM power is they can turn you into a Ritke monkey at any point in time. And it was kind of funny because there was this person who got on the forums and was saying how much they enjoyed the house, although they thought that they probably had sold their soul to somebody at some point. And so I kind of went with that. And so I had this this rule that I did where, attention denizens, there to be no buying or selling of souls, allowed. And Doll was one of my Doll was whistling. We know better, Doll. Where Doll would like argue with me in character and stuff, and I would make empty threats I couldn't possibly fulfill. And so Sparky's like, "You want me to turn into a monkey?" And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It went and turned into a monkey. It's like, that's the power I wield. It was hilarious. We did it to somebody else who was a friend too, without any kind of warning. He went with it. He was very gracious. It was fun. He had a date he was trying to show off for, so we turned him into a monkey. And then in here, of course, if you have any kind of special effects, water strips FX. And there are some costumes that are entirely FX, like if you have stealth. Then you turn on stealth, or hide, or superior invisibility, or any of those things, and poof, you vanish. And so, and sometimes it was funny because we'd be hiding in here. There are a couple of spots where, and I'm going to rearrange this maze so it doesn't matter if I show you. A couple of spots like here where it looks to the outside like it's another wall, but inside is a little pocket where we could hide and watch. But if somebody came in with stealth on, we couldn't see them unless they passed right in front of us and stuff. It was funny. But and then some people would challenge we had the clown hiding in here, of course, and you could tell the people who were afraid of clowns because they'd be out in the carnival area, and they'd just be like waiting and looking, pacing around a little bit, and then they'd turn on sprint and like, go for it, and then sometimes they'd go nope,
Yep.
come back out. So I started blocking them. I had a camera view. My clown was juggling, and mostly he was just there to let me know when somebody was coming into the maze, so I could tell the person in the maze, "Hey, you got somebody." But because so many people were noping out of the maze, I started moving him to block so that they couldn't get out of the maze and stuff. So that was fun. And then sometimes I was playing like almost all the scares. I know I missed more people than I got, but we just didn't have enough people. So hopefully this next year we can have more people, because I had even more fun.
I think I'll be there. I don't know if we're going out. It's hard to say at this point, but
Yeah.
I can pretty much guess we'll be home.
So yeah, most of this was just me trying to rack my brains, coming up with, okay, what are people scared of and stuff. One of our inspired, the Lost Child, was, I thought, just inspired, and the RP people just loved playing her. We had people fighting over, no, I want to play her, I want to play her.
I was just going to say, there's going to be a waiting list.
And there was people. We were like, that's my preferred. Some people. Like, we had one person who completely opted out of Immolated Corpse because they're like, nope, that's a legit fear of mine. I'm not playing that one. And that's fine,
Sure.
If you hate clowns, if you hate... I hate spiders. I did play spiders. They're much more fun to be than to see.
Right. The spiderlings. Yeah.
For sure.
But, yeah, I mean, we didn't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. But the Lost Child, we had some really funny RP scripts that came out of that. We had one I copied and sent around and stuff. So, and we have some like hidden teleporters, some of those silent, invisible teleporters in places for the workers to get around and so forth. I may rearrange those too. I've already thought of a few things, but suggestions welcome. If anybody can think of something scary or fun they think would be a good addition that I can do without rearranging too much. Then let me know.
I mean, you could always do like a tax filing office or something like that, like a really
That's pretty terrifying.
Mind-numbingly Department of Motor Vehicles or something like that for like a little real-world horror.
We had somebody who suggested, I've been trying to get in contact with you about your extended car warranty. Chasing after people with that. I had with the whole soul selling thing, I had a guy out here with pamphlets saying, did you sell your soul? I can get it back. Ask me how, whole bio and everything. So trying to hit all the different phobias and stuff. But we didn't look at the unreality plane, but that's fun. So, does anybody have any questions about anything? Roll 17. Yeah. Anybody have any other questions or anything? Probably not.
I don't see anything from the chat.
Nope, I don't see anything either. Mostly, I think people just don't even know what to ask.
Right.
I will say, this roof gave me fit. This roof was probably one of the biggest projects I did, and because the editor is sadly lacking in much in the way of roof stuff. We've now got some slabs of tiles, but I use those for the house. If you look, those are the shingles for the roof.
Okay.
And it just, you want to do angles, you can't do angles with them because they're square, they're rectangles. And you do angles, you need trapezoids, you need triangles, you need something other than a square or a rectangle. And so basically these are cement plates that I carefully placed and then angled I don't even know how many of them there are. Easter Bunny would know. He keeps track of every piece. He's like, he'll be like, well, there are 830 sections of this in this space. I'm like, okay, I don't even want to know how many I placed, because then I would just get really discouraged and tired all over again, But yeah, the roof was quite the project.
Dython asked what's going on at the arena. So I guess that's where the costume contest was held.
Yes, our costume contest. We did find out that the base limit is
200.
200 people, and we had a lot of people who couldn't come in because of that. And up my Viscale, I think it transfers from character to character. What I'm doing here is the thing that people liked the most about this was when we turned it into a party area. So I am reorganizing it and going to make it into just a party zone, which means taking out the seating. I'm going to leave the bars, but I'm probably going to do several levels of dance floors, because it's what they call tell hell in here. When you have a whole bunch of people in here in this small of a space, you can't follow the conversations very well because there's just too many of them. So if you space the dance floors out, I can do some effects and stuff too, then you can have areas where people can go and there won't be quite so many conversations going on at the same time. So that's the plans for this arena. I haven't done much more besides tear a few things out. I have a few other projects.
Right.
We understand the grind. We really do.
Well, right now, what I'm actually working on now is a video trying to visualize, trying to put in visual terms the merits and the auction house and converters and catalysts and what those do and how you can use them. Because a lot of people they give away super packs every year at Halloween, and some people are like, oh, what's a super pack? What's a converter? What do I do with this? And I can spend an hour telling them, or I can give them a video link. So I think the video link, when I get it done, will be the better option.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, thanks for the follow, Nookchus. Welcome, Nutty. How are you? I was watching your stream earlier today.
Oops.
Cool.
DJ Conventus in the house.
It looks so cool, though.
Thanks.
Like, it really shows you what you're able to do with supergroup-based design.
Yeah. There are so many creative bases these days. I can't keep up with all of them.
Yeah.
There's this one, and there's the sleigh bells, and there's the mall I just reviewed, and there's Karma, which is its own little island, and Rat City. Oh my goodness, Rat City is amazing. Hardly even like I said, I can't keep up. Easter Bunny is working on this kind of fantasy treehouse thing, swamp treehouse. It's fantasy, and it's just adorable and really just awesome. But and there are lots of spaceships and space set bases, and there are lots of mystical bases, several natural wildlife type things, a lot of cities and street scenes, and then there's just a lot of the basic, hey, this is our headquarters, and and just using the basic base layout and stuff, filling the rooms with stuff, and that's cool too.
Yeah.
Wonder what Conventus is playing.
Looks like Dythok actually has a question in the chat, though a more serious question about the item count. At what point do you start to worry about performance issues when it comes to the count? Like, does lag or viz scale become more of an issue at higher counts?
Right. It's for some people it's an issue right away. It really depends on your computer system. My computer system, right now, I don't really have much of a problem with it. I was going to point out, and I forgot to do it, when I was in the base that we first went to, the Crossroads. If you look at the map on that one, it's rows of very long rooms with lots of rooms connecting them. And I did that because people were saying, oh, the big room, it has so much lag. And, if you chop it up, then you don't get so much lag because you don't have so many items in each room. Like, oh, okay, well, I'll try that. I did try it. I don't like it, but some people, that's how they have to do it because of how their system works. But I found that when you do it like that, there are still these tiny little micro dead zones. When I say a dead zone, that's an area you can go straight or side to side. You cannot go diagonally with your doorways. So when you have two rooms that are like diagonal from each other, there's a spot that no one can't put anything in. You can put items that bridge if they're large enough, but if you want to put a small item in there, forget about it. That's not happening. The editor does not allow that. Now this space, if you look, there's a lot of different rooms there, and it's because the big room was originally how big I thought the base was going to be. And once you have the big room, you can't just say, oh, change that into a bigger room. You've got to be able to fit additional rooms in on the base as it stands. I wish that there was a different way, but the editor will only allow you to move rooms around if they don't have stuff sticking out of them, and add rooms. And you can move the plot, actually. You don't have to move the room. You can move the plot. It's odd that they let you do the one and not the other. But the reason all my hallways are showing up, a lot of times on a map, if it's filled in, it won't show up. I discovered on this map that it used to be when you filled in the entire base, like the whole thing would disappear. And you'd see like the doorways that you couldn't cover, those would be the only things that would appear on the map. And the doorways that you could cover, they were just like a room. You just put whatever you wanted to in that spot. And when I was building on this map, I kept having problems because it would tell me I can't place an item. And I'm looking at the map going, yes, I can. And what I found is that, I don't know when it happened, but it used to be when you saw the whole base filled in, the whole thing would be filled in. Now the hallways are like open when you fill in the whole base. And what I've discovered is in this base anyway, for a lot of the rooms, the doorways, there's nothing there. And so the editor won't let you place anything because there's no doorway there. So I went back and I put in all the doorways, which was a pain because when you have a bunch of pieces, you can't select the plot very easily, and left them open so that they're not filled in. Because as soon as you fill them in, it's not a doorway anymore, apparently. I don't know. It was weird. But that's why you can see the doorways on the map. They're not filled in.
Wow.
So... Well, did we have any more questions, or was there anything else that you wanted to cover, Dacy? Anything that you think folks need to know?
There's always something somebody needs to know, and I never know what it is. The only thing that I haven't gotten to cover that I really wanted to cover was Easter Bunny's Christmas base, because that thing is worth a whole hour all by itself. It's awesome.
Right on. Well, I say we put a pin in that, and we definitely schedule that, because I just love touring these bases. It's just so fun to see what y'all are able to do. So I would definitely like to do that if he's down. Sure.
Awesome. I know Easter Bunny would be happy to show it off, and we didn't get to go very far into the spaceship either, but I think the Christmas base, I think, is a little bit more to see.
Yeah.
It's hard. They're apples and oranges.
Yeah.
So we've got Easter Bunny says approved. Yay! Awesome. Yay, you guys. So other than your YouTube page, which I'm going to put in the chat and see if it'll let me post, is there anywhere else that you would like folks to, like, this would be a good time to promote or shill anything that you want to promote?
Really the YouTube is about the only thing I do. Like I said, I'm sort of trying to branch out with the won't be just a base building video. It'll be about the merit rewards and I don't even know, what do you call a video like that? I'm still trying to figure out what a good title is. It's like I've run through several of them and it's like they're all a mouthful. There's just nothing simple that comes to mind when you say COH economics. I don't know. But I mean,
there's the tough part a lot of times is figuring out what you're going to call it.
Yeah. But I mean, there's just so many things you can do with all the converters, and the people don't realize it, I don't think, because otherwise, why would they be paying like 20 million more for winter IO that's been catalyzed?
Yeah.
I mean, hello, a catalyst is like what, 20 merits, I think, or $1.5 million to $2 million, and you're paying 20 million more because it's catalyzed. That isn't,
Right.
But I mean, there's just a lot. We're getting new people in the game all the time, and there's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
This game has a lot to it.
Much. Yeah.
So I just want to give people the tools they need to have fun out there.
Well, and we
Very
certainly
cool.
appreciate it. You're one of the great community members that makes it so fun to keep coming back to this game. So we appreciate you, Dacy.
Hey, Diethawk, what do you mean bad, Dacy?
No, you stop that. Don't kill my cash cow.
I don't think everyone's going to look at my video. Just the smart people.
Right?
We agree.
And then a lot of people who watch probably already know about it. But just, I think Diethawk, I think you will still make money.
Yeah, I think
Probably.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for having me, and I thought we were not live yet. I was saying, I really love your openings. I hear myself. I'm like, just
It was
need
it.
to.
Dacy, you feel free to compliment us anytime on
Right.
air, off air. It's like we appreciate it. Thank you so much. Don't even worry about that. We are stepping over each other all the time here.
Right?
Cool.
So yeah, that's gonna wrap it for us. I'm gonna roll the
Let me
outro.
start my stream real quick so you can,
so I
head
can
over.
raid Vivid Muse's channel. It's Saturday, which we do super heroics on Saturday on Viv stream.
Yes, we do.
Twitch.tv/VividMuse, and we roll with Trauma Train Rich and Greblaja. We've been doing Gold Side. We've been doing the Praetorian mission arcs and kind of parallel going through the Resistance and the other Loyalists and kind of doing those and seeing all of those mission arcs and whatever. We were talking about we might take a detour to the blue side and do some different things today. Maybe not. We're going to check that in the chat when we switch over. And so yeah, here's the part where I usually repeat myself 3 times over and over again, at least 3 times. But I really do appreciate everybody in the chat that came along, and appreciate Dacy's time. So I'm going to queue up that outro, and we're going to queue up this raid, and we will catch you in 2 weeks. We've been doing a thing where, we've always been alternating, bi-weekly, every other week. We do the City of Heroes podcast, and so we've been running the previous episode as a rerun. So if you missed this stream, you can catch it next Saturday. Of course, it's going to be in the video on demand. Of course, it's going to be on our YouTube channel and all that stuff, but you know how it goes. All All right, here we go. Thank you, everybody, once again. And let me do the outro. Bye-bye. This podcast, its hosts, and websites are not in any way affiliated with NCSoft, Cryptic Studios, or Homecoming servers.
All views expressed are solely of the hosts and their guests.
This podcast is released under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, Share-alike license, which is explained in detail at CoHPodcast.com.
Good hunting, heroes.